Have you ever imagined a world where your walls could be strong like wood, but also let in all that natural light?
Yeah.
Well, get this. That world might not be too far off.
Really?
Yeah. Today, we're going deep on transparent wood.
Huh.
This material is like something straight out of science fiction, pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible with construction and way beyond.
Wow.
We'll be exploring an article called Why Scientists Are Making Transparent Wood from Knowable magazine.
Oh, cool. I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah, it's a great resource.
Mm-hmm.
And transparent wood really could change the game.
Yeah, like it almost sounds too good to be true.
Right.
How did anyone even come up with this idea?
Well, the story actually starts way back in 1992 with a botanist named Siegfried Fink.
Oh, wow.
He was studying the insides of plants, the intricate structures,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to be able to see them without having to cut the plants open. So he had this idea to bleach away the pigments in the wood.
And that's what made
It's
it
transparent,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah.
That's wild.
It really is amazing what a little curiosity can lead to.
So he just stumbles on this incredible discovery. But then what? Did it just get forgotten about?
It's kind of like it was hidden in plain sight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For over a decade, Fink's research didn't really get much attention.
So how did it come back?
Well, a material scientist, Lars Berglund, came across it. And he immediately realized this transparent wood could be a whole lot more than just a tool for botanists.
Yeah.
Like, he really saw the potential for a whole new category of materials.
It makes you think how many other breakthroughs are just sitting there waiting for the right person to come along.
Totally.
So how do you actually take wood and make it see-through?
Well, it all starts with lignin.
Okay.
Lignin is what makes wood, wood-like. It gives it its color and its rigidity.
I see.
Imagine it like the glue that holds all the wood fibers together.
Uh-huh.
And so to make the wood transparent, you have to get rid of the lignin.
And then you're left with
A white, porous framework. It's basically stripping the wood down to its bare bones.
Okay, so then wouldn't that make it really fragile?
That's where the real magic comes in.
Okay.
Those empty pores that are left behind, they get filled in with a special resin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something like epoxy. But the trick is that the resin has to bend light the same way that those wood fibers do.
I see.
And that matching process, it's called refractive index matching. And that's what lets the light pass straight through.
That's fascinating. But it sounds like a really delicate process. Is the final product actually tough enough to use for something like construction?
It's more than tough, actually. It's super durable. Research from the University of Maryland has shown that this transparent wood can be 3 times stronger than plexiglass
Wow.
and 10 times tougher than regular glass.
That's amazing. So it's not just some fragile art piece?
Yep.
This is like serious stuff. I mean, when I think of transparent wood, I immediately go to windows.
Sure, yeah.
Is that the main use case?
Windows are definitely getting a lot of buzz. But honestly, transparent wood has potential way beyond that.
Like what?
Like, we could see it used in car dashboards and even smartphone screens.
Oh.
There's this company called Woodoo in France. They're actually making these recyclable, touch-sensitive screens out of wood.
Oh, wow.
Imagine billboards, but they're made of wood,
Yeah.
and you can interact with them.
That's incredible. And since it's wood, it's got to be way more sustainable than all those other materials we use, right?
That's definitely the goal.
Yeah.
And it's a big reason why there's so much research being done on this.
Yeah.
Wood is, of course, a renewable resource, and that's huge because so many of the things we use today are made from petroleum-based plastics.
Yeah.
But there's some hurdles we got to clear when it comes to making the process itself more sustainable.
What kind of hurdles are we talking about?
Well, a big one is finding better ways to remove that lignin and to make those resins.
Yeah.
Some of the more traditional methods involve harsh chemicals, but scientists are working on some greener alternatives. Like, they're experimenting with using things like hydrogen peroxide and UV light to remove the lignin. And they're even looking into bio-based polymers to replace those petroleum-derived resins.
Bio-based.
Polymers make some stuff like, get this, citrus peels.
Citrus peels.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It sounds like they're getting really creative with those solutions.
For sure.
So we talked about windows. You mentioned phone screens. Could this stuff actually be used in electronics?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility because transparent wood is so strong, but it's also flexible.
Right.
It could be perfect for that next generation of smartphones.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a foldable phone, but it's even better because it's made from a sustainable material.
That would be awesome. Going back to the windows for a second, wouldn't they make buildings drafty?
Actually, transparent wood could be a super insulator.
Really?
It's all about the structure,
Yeah.
Those little air pockets that we talked about. They actually make great insulators.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They trap the heat and prevent it from escaping.
So instead of making a building colder, they could actually help regulate the temperature.
Exactly. And researchers are even testing out adding what are called phase-changing materials to make that insulation even better.
Phase-changing materials, what are those?
Well, they can absorb or release heat when they change state,
Oh, okay.
like going from a solid to a liquid or the other way around.
Huh.
And they're looking into all kinds of possibilities for those materials, including using, and you're going to love this, citrus peels.
No way. Citrus peels are having a moment. So you're saying we could have these windows that not only let in tons of light, but also control the temperature inside the building?
That's the hope. Windows that darken when it's hot out to keep things cool. Or even windows that can heat up in the winter.
That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? But it's actually becoming reality. And honestly, that's just scratching the surface. Researchers are looking at how to make transparent wood a load-bearing ambient light source.
So like a ceiling that's strong enough to hold up the building, but it also lights up the room.
Exactly.
Wow, that is mind-blowing. I mean, we're talking about a material that could completely change the way we build things. And it all started because one botanist wanted to peek inside a plant.
That's right. It's amazing.
Well, we've covered so much ground here, but there's still so much more to explore. We're going to take a quick break to gather our thoughts, and when we come back, we'll dive even deeper into this incredible world of transparent wood.
Sounds good.
It's crazy how, like, one person's just, wondering about something can lead to these huge innovations.
It really makes you wonder what other amazing discoveries are out there.
Totally.
Just waiting for someone to see what they could really do.
Yeah.
It's not even just finding them. It's about taking it further.
Yeah, exactly. It can't just be about swapping out old materials with something renewable. What are some of the things researchers are trying to figure out to make transparent wood even better?
But one of the biggest challenges right now is figuring out how to make a lot of it.
Right. Yeah.
Like right now, they're mostly making transparent wood in small batches, in labs. But to really make it work as an alternative to the stuff we use now, we got to figure out how to produce it on a massive scale.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's one thing to make it in a lab. It's a whole other thing to actually, mass produce it.
Exactly. And then there's the cost. It can be pretty expensive to make transparent wood right now, especially compared to, glass or plastic. So researchers are always looking for ways to, make the process faster and cheaper.
So it's like this balancing act. You want it to be sustainable and durable, but also affordable.
It is, yeah. And then there's the whole question of how long it lasts. Will it hold up over time?
Yeah.
Transparent wood is still pretty new.
Yeah.
And we need to know how it reacts to things like sunlight and moisture and temperature changes.
Yeah, for sure.
All of that is being researched as we speak.
So it sounds like there's still a lot to figure out, but the possibilities are really exciting. Like, imagine buildings that aren't just pretty, but they're also energy efficient and made from, renewable materials.
Yeah. I think we're really close to seeing some major changes in architecture. I mean, imagine buildings where the walls are entirely transparent wood. It'd be like blurring the lines between inside and outside.
Oh, wow.
We could use sunlight for energy, fill spaces with natural light, and feel more connected to nature.
That's beautiful. It's not just replacing glass. It's about totally changing how we think about buildings and how we interact with them.
Exactly. And it's not just buildings either. We could use transparent wood in cars, airplanes, furniture.
Wow.
I mean, the list goes on and on. It could change the way we design so many things.
It's pretty wild to think about how this material could change the world around us. We've mostly been talking about the practical side of things. But what about, any downsides? What are some things we need to be careful about as we develop this technology?
That's a really important question. Like any new technology, we need to be aware of how it could affect both people and the environment. One of the biggest things is where the wood comes from. We have to make sure that we're getting it in a way that's sustainable, without causing deforestation or hurting ecosystems.
That's a really good point. We don't want to fix one environmental problem and create a new one. Are there any other concerns that we should be thinking about?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, transparency can raise issues around privacy, right?
Oh, yeah.
If we start building with transparent wood, we might need to rethink building codes and how we design things so people can still have their privacy.
That's interesting. It just reminds us that whenever we have new technology, we also need to think about, the social and ethical side of things, too.
Couldn't agree more. And it's important to have these conversations from the very beginning. Scientists, architects, policymakers, and the public. Everyone needs to be involved to make sure that transparent wood is developed and used in a way that benefits all of us.
Okay, so looking ahead, what are some of the most exciting possibilities for transparent wood? Assuming, of course, we can figure out all these challenges and make sure it's done responsibly.
I think one of the most promising areas is sustainable energy. Imagine if we could make solar panels out of transparent wood and integrate them right into buildings.
Yeah,
We could have roofs and windows that look amazing, but they're also generating power.
that would be incredible. We'd be one step closer to truly sustainable cities. What about other uses?
Well, because it's so strong and flexible, transparent wood could really open up a lot of options in design. Imagine cars with these big panoramic roofs made from transparent wood, letting in all that natural light but still being safe and strong. Or even like furniture that's really lightweight and durable and it kind of blends in with its surroundings.
It sounds like transparent wood could be everywhere, like plastic is now. But unlike plastic, it could actually be good for the environment and make things even more beautiful.
That's the hope. And remember, we're still in the early stages of all this. There's no telling what other amazing applications we'll find in the future.
Yeah. Well, this has been an awesome deep dive into the world of transparent wood. It's a material that really gets you thinking about what's possible, and it shows us that the future is full of surprises. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to share with our listeners about this amazing material?
Yeah, it really shows you that sometimes the biggest innovations come from like the simplest questions.
It's true. And it makes you think, what other kind of hidden gems are out there? What could we discover if we just start looking at things in new ways?
Yeah, like what if we took inspiration from nature more often?
Right. I mean, nature has been finding solutions to problems for millions of years. If we could study those solutions and, apply them in different ways,
Yeah.
we could create technologies that are not only innovative, but also work with the natural world instead of against it.
That's a really cool way to think about it. It's like we're teaming up with nature to build a better future. Exactly. And we can all be a part of that, whether it's supporting scientists doing this research or just being more aware of what we buy,
Yeah.
making conscious choices, or even just staying curious about the world around us. I think it all makes a difference.
So to everyone listening, we want to leave you with this thought. What other properties of nature could we use to create something amazing? What seems impossible now that could become reality if we just, dared to explore it?
Keep asking questions, keep experimenting, and who knows what you might find. There's so much potential out there, and it's up to all of us to shape the future. And to do it with creativity and ingenuity, but also with respect for the natural world.
Well, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the fascinating world of transparent wood. It's a material that really sparks the imagination and reminds us that the future is full of possibilities. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep those minds curious.